Foundation for Suicide Prevention. And this lady has been with me. We've walked over 17 miles for suicide prevention at the 2 Out of the Darkness overnight walks. One in Washington, D.C. after advocating, and then the one here recently in Dallas. I'm sorry if I'm blowing y'all's ears. But I really would like to introduce this lady. You know, through grit, through tears and hard work, she's another reason why I still do what I do. You all are a reason I still do what I do. And just everybody asks, where do the funds go? 50% of what we raise stays in the community for education and material. The other 50% goes to mental health research. Suicide is the 10th leading cause of death in the U.S., and it's the only cause of death that's a leading cause of death that is not funded properly. And through our work, we educate those that need to listen to give us the funds in order to get better mental health, because mental health is healthcare. And am I forgetting anything, please? But just to give y'all a little tidbit, and I promise I'll hand it over because I could talk forever and it's hot. Our community walk that we started 5 years ago started with 168 people, and last year we had over 1,200 people. And it just goes to show you what you're doing today is grassroots. So even though we had, 134, I'm not sure the exact number of Jeeps, you know, I think next year will be much bigger, and the year after that, and the year after that. So thank you all for your part of being here today. And I'm going to give this over to Annette, my lovely BFF and fighter in suicide prevention.
Thank you. My name is Annette Becerra. First, I would like to thank you for supporting us, and like Jennifer mentioned, most of all, standing with us for the cause. We're here for the awareness for suicide prevention. We're here for Destiny Matters, because she mattered. I am a mother of 5 adult children and 5 grandchildren. And I'm speaking to you on the side of I'm a loss survivor, meaning that I lost someone near and dear to my heart as well. My heart and hope was changed when suicide came into my life. Our lives drastically changed on June 21st, 2012. This is the day that my 23-year-old daughter ended her life. What felt like the ground fell in, life shattered. Nothing was ever going to be the same. How could we go on? How could we make this seem like we could live again? I still miss my daughter every day, but she lives in my heart. She lives in my life. Because of her, I advocate, and I will always be her voice. There were so many questions running through my mind of how could I make sense of such a horrible tragedy, and how could a life be gone? What could I have done to prevent this? And there's so many questions that there was no answer for. However, I learned that nothing I could have done could have saved her. She didn't tell me because she didn't want me to know. There was no way to make a sense of the tragedy, but the one question I learned to answer is, how do I move forward? And even through the tragedy of losing my daughter, those days after her death, there were such a days. Truthfully, there was days that I don't even remember how I went to work and went through the next day. I was consumed in my grief. My children saw me as a pillar and strength. But inside, I was broken. And even though it was so hard to pull myself out of that dark tunnel, I knew that I had to keep on living because I had children, I had grandchildren, and I had parents. So I had to learn how to fight back, grieve, and learn how to heal. Healing from a loss of a loved one to suicide is a lifelong process. Nothing about this is easy, but it has to be done because we have to move forward. Brittany loved everything and gave her best to everybody that she saw. She volunteered to help organizations like feeding the homeless and trying to make a difference because she said that this world was a cruel world. She wanted to leave her stamp on the world and impact others. Her smile was priceless, and she will forever be in my heart. That's what I hold on to. I hold on to her smile, the love for her family and her friends. I hold on to the great things that she did in the short time of her 23 years of her life. I can't hold on to how she left this world because I can't explain it and nothing makes sense. But I can, however, make sense of the fact that her life meant something and was very valuable, as well as Destiny and Diane. The many that we have lost, the many that we don't even hear about. But for those of you that are here today with your own personal struggles, reach out to one of us. If you look around, there's always someone there to help you. You're not alone. I vowed in my daughter's memory to do whatever I could to help those who experience the same loss. This is where my healing started to change. I gave them my support by offering them a hope and a way to heal. Sometimes people just need to know that there is life after suicide, and I want to show them that this is a day-to-day journey and life and perseverance to push forward, and I've done it. I first learned about AFSP after my first Out of the Darkness walk in 2012. I volunteered to be a field advocate for American Foundation Suicide Prevention, and since then, I have participated in annual walks, 6 walks, alongside with my family, friends, and friends like Jennifer that have become family. I couldn't stand where I am today without the support and the love of my loved ones. I finally was strong enough to complete my first overnight walk with Jennifer in Washington, D.C. The second week we completed was in Dallas this past summer. The feeling is, and the experience is overwhelming, but it means that you still value and you still remember and you cherish those memories you have of them. The more I realize about the stigma around suicide, for those that do struggle with mental illness, I will always continue to educate myself and do this to help others. I still need to be more involved so that I can help tear down the walls and the stigma around suicide. I have served before with American Foundation Suicide Prevention Board, and I still continue to volunteer on admins on social media. I do this to help others dealing with grief. Some reach out to me when they don't know what else to do. Some reach out because the tears don't stop. I had to fight back to save my own life. But with the help of others and meeting people such as Jennifer, I've made it. It takes one of us to reach out to the other to help educate and give them support in the efforts to stop suicide. Be a voice for those who no longer have a voice. I will continue to advocate to families affected by suicide by providing them with a voice, along with the support and the will to live. I will, I can make a difference, one step at a time. Together we will bring light to the darkness and break the stigma around suicide to help create this awareness. I know that everyone is here for a different reason, to support a loved one, to remember a loved one that you've lost, or just for your own issue, your own struggles. I just thank each and every one of you for coming out to support us, to help us raise the awareness today and help support that destiny mattered. Thank you so much.